I'm Walter Hudzik, one of the board members of Northwest Youth Services. Thank you for joining us for Dine In to Make a Difference. As it turns out, 2020 is a year to change things up, keep us on our toes, and try new things. Normally, Northwest Youth Services hosts an annual gala at Bellingham Technical College. But with the impact of COVID-19, we've taken the opportunity to creatively connect and share our mission in unique ways. Dine In to Make a Difference was born of that quest to reach people where they are, much like our practice of meeting youth where they are. This year, we wanted to try something new and bold to drive awareness about who we at Northwest Youth Services are and how you can support us. We depend on our community's support and rely on your donations to keep our programs going. With that being said, the most fun way to enjoy this cooking series, and to support us, is to join our VIP viewing experience. When you sign up to be a VIP, you get an ingredient box hand-picked just for you and personally delivered to your door with everything you need to make the meal. Now, none of what you are about to see is possible without the support from our brilliant sponsors. Please join me in thanking our presenting sponsors, IMCO Construction, People's Bank, and Birch Equipment. And of course, Cosmos Bistro, Big Rock Roadhouse, and La Fiamma Wood-Fire Pizza, and Veritas Media for producing this show. In addition to our presenting sponsors, special thanks to Rice Insurance, Larson Gross Certified Public Accountants, CPI Plumbing and Heating, Seeking Health, Logan Creek Senior Living, Peace Health, Bellingham Cold Storage, Land Title and Escrow, Windermere Property Management of Oak Harbor, Marla Chapa Keller Williams, the Hanson Home Team Keller Williams, and Skagit Regional Health. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to this program. For updates on upcoming projects and to stay current with what's happening, please take a moment to follow us on social media and subscribe to our newsletters. Our second episode of Dine In to Make a Difference features a local favorite in Mount Vernon, Rob Seiler from Big Rock Roadhouse. I'm now going to hand things off to Holly Brown, Vice President of Marketing at People's Bank, board member, and longtime supporter of Northwest Youth Services. Thanks again for joining us, and I hope that you enjoy your experience.
Welcome to the Commissary Kitchen downtown, provided by La Fiamma. I'm really excited to have you with us today. We're going to learn how to prepare a meal from Big Rock Roadhouse. This is Rob, owner and head chef. Welcome to the show, Rob. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you, Holly. It's really good to be here with you today.
So, Rob, tell me a little bit about what we're making today.
Today we're going to make our Big Rock steak pile sandwich, which is made with smoked sirloin and then some mushrooms and some onions all sauteed together with cheese. Comes on a hoagie style roll. It's big, it's huge, it's messy. It's definitely a multi-napkin event. It's just overall tasty. We also have the vegetarian option available.
In my mind, I've never seen it, but in my mind I'm picturing something like this big. So we'll see at the end how much my guess compares to it. Rob, everything that you're going to make sounds really amazing. I'm really excited to learn more about that. We're going to take a quick break and learn a little bit more about Northwest Youth Services.
Northwest Youth Services is a nonprofit organization serving young people ages 13 to 24 experiencing homelessness in Whatcom, Skagit, and Island counties. Our dedication to area youth spans over 4 decades. We support youth in identifying goals and building skills necessary to reach their own sense of stability. Northwest Youth Services offers housing, street outreach, help finding a job or enrolling in school, connection to mental health services, support for LGBTQ+ youth, restorative justice for juvenile offenders, and referrals to other services in the community. We believe that all children and youth deserve a safe, nurturing environment, that adolescence is an important time of transition, and that youth need and deserve compassion, encouragement, and support. We also believe that children and youth should be recognized and valued as a vital part of our community, and that change is needed within society to create a safe and healthy environment for children and youth. At Northwest Youth Services, we are youth-centered. We see the potential for all people to grow and change, and we provide opportunities and tools to facilitate that process. We advocate for the interests of children and youth within their families and communities. We honor the unique process of each individual and family to meet their challenges and make their own choices for creating health and well-being. We understand that each individual exists within the context of a family, and we work holistically to foster healthy relationships. We meet people where they're at, listen with compassion, honor differences, and build on strengths. We believe that all individuals are important and deserve quality services, and we strive to provide an environment that actively embraces diversity and differences. We look for innovative solutions and take initiative to provide and promote quality services. That's a little bit about our organization. Now I just want to encourage you to partner with us by making a donation of any amount to support our community's young people. Donating is easy. Just click the link in this video description and go to nwys.org and click Donate Now.
We're back at the commissary kitchen and we're gonna slice and dice some things. So what are you working on?
Excellent. We're going to slice up some onions and some mushrooms, both to be sauteed for our steak pile sandwich. They need to be nice and caramelized and ready to roll by the time we're done. I did think it was a good opportunity to show people.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
This is your typical household egg slicer.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom had one, my grandmother probably had several, but it really works well for slicing soft items like mushrooms and strawberries.
Maybe avocado?
Probably avocados. The avocados, are pretty easy to slice on their own.
That's true. Easier to slice it in it.
You can literally just put them in there, and it gives you nice even slices that don't take your fingers off. Your kids can help you. At the Roadhouse, we like to make sure that everything is easily reproducible.
So tell me where this recipe came from.
Well, initially we were thinking about doing a Philly, and then we decided we want to do something that did a better job of featuring our smoked sirloin. So we went to a brown gravy, which then didn't seem quite the same. Then mushrooms, grilled mushrooms and grilled onions go with just about everything.
That's true.
We ended up and throw some Swiss cheese on top, and suddenly we've got a really top flight sandwich.
So tell me about how long you've been in business.
I've been there at the Roadhouse for just over 3 years. Actually, we're coming up on the physical open date, 3rd-year anniversary here at the end of the month.
Happy anniversary.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun and everything.
It's very exciting. So tell me about where you get your produce and your meat and all your products for your restaurant.
As much as possible, we do try to locally source our vegetables. We supplement using the national chains, but when our local products are available, it's always important in our world to use as many of those as we can. And the same thing goes with meat. If we can get the meat we need locally, then that's always going to be the first priority.
So do you have, I asked the other chef this, do you have a secret for cutting onions that you don't cry?
It's not really a secret. The real answer.
Oh, there is a real answer. Okay.
The real answer is a sharp knife.
Okay.
In any good kitchen, the chefs will always keep their knives exceptionally sharp because you can cut them and you're not breaking the cells and causing the juices to go everywhere into the air. So if you use a good sharp knife, then you don't have the tear thing. I cut the ends off, then I cut it in half, and then we're just going to make slivers out of it so that we end up with about 1/2-inch thick chunks of onion that when we throw it into the saute, that'll brown and everything. If we're doing large batches of it, it makes it easier just to be able to stack them all on top of each other.
So tell me what kind of knife that is that you're using.
It's a Japanese style knife where it doesn't rock. I prefer to chop everything going straight down. A lot of chefs prefer the more traditional chef knife, which would have the curve on it, so that you're rocking back and forth. I like to use just a more up and down motion. Chefs everywhere will all use different knives. It's a matter of personal choice, and which one you find that you like to use and it fits in your hand well is where the ultimate decision comes from.
Well, that's great. I can't wait to go shopping for a new set of knives.
Excellent. Make sure you find one you like.
I definitely will. We're going to take a quick break and learn a little bit more about Northwest Youth Services and some of the services that they provide.
Northwest Youth Services has grown in response to the need for supportive programs for youth since its inception in 1976. Although our initial service area began in Bellingham, we have expanded to offer services to unstably housed young people throughout Whatcom County and Skagit County. Most recently, we've expanded our housing supports into parts of Island County, and we're having a big impact. Last year, 1,290 people sought our support. In 2019, 217 youth exited homelessness and entered into safe and stable housing, and 542 school-aged youths participated in preventative activities aimed at addressing risk. But we still have a lot of work to do. On any given night in Washington State, there are 1,300 unaccompanied young people who are considered homeless. When we look at communities affected by homelessness, we know that Black youth in Washington make up 24% of the homeless youth population, even though they represent only 6% of the total population. LGBTQ+ youth are also disproportionately represented in the homeless youth population, with up to 40% of homeless youth identifying as LGBTQ+. Mental illness and chemical abuse are leading factors of youth incarceration and homelessness. The role of our behavioral health team is to enhance and expand mental health and treatment services to youth experiencing chronic homelessness, substance use disorders, serious mental illness or emotional disturbance, or sometimes a combination of these things. We do this through substance abuse support and referrals for at-risk youth, by providing wraparound services for youth suffering from mental illness, and collaborating with other program areas to enhance our holistic crisis intervention and prevention. Another program we offer is the Vocational Readiness Program, which provides a spectrum of support services to equip youth in exploring and reaching their education and employment goals. Our volunteers and caseworkers help youth with their resumes, job searches, and the interview process. On the restorative justice side of our programming, the Teen Court program began in 1997 and is a partnership between Northwest Youth Services and Whatcom County Superior Court. Teen Court is a diversion program with the goal of offering youth an alternative to juvenile detention. This program is based on the philosophy of restorative justice rather than punishment. Finally, given that around 40% of homeless youth identify as LGBTQ+, the Queer Youth Project is a program dedicated to supporting and advocating for at-risk and homeless LGBTQ+ youth. This program includes stigma-free events, family reunification programs, and safe medical referrals, along with LGBTQ+ youth safety and resiliency programs offered to community groups. A full list of all our resources can be found at nwys.org. Supporting our organization is easy. Of course, financial gifts are important to help end youth homelessness. You can also sign up for our mailing list or follow us on Facebook. All of these links can be found in the description below. Thanks for your support.
Welcome back to the commissary kitchen. We are going to saute some mushrooms and onions, and it looks like Rob has a special spice rub for us. Tell us about that.
It's really more of a joke around our place because it's quite a simple recipe that's not anything exciting. 1 part kosher salt, 1 part garlic powder, 1 part black pepper. It's the classic steak seasoning that everybody uses. Around my place, we call it magic seasoning because we put it on virtually everything. Important feature on it, though, is stick to kosher salt.
Why would the salts make a difference?
Table salts usually have iodine added to them, where the kosher salt doesn't, so it's a much milder salt flavor. That's why when you read recipes and it calls for a tablespoon of salt, they're usually referencing kosher salt, because if you put a tablespoon of table salt in it, then it ends up being really salty, and that confuses a lot of recipes.
That makes sense.
Around my place, we use the garlic powder, black pepper, and kosher salt mix on just about everything. French fries, steaks, burgers. It's just an integral part of anything. So sauteing the onions and mushrooms is really an easy process, but takes much longer than most recipes would have. Most recipes say it takes 5 minutes to caramelize onions. It takes quite a bit longer because what you're looking for is the natural sugars in the onion to brown with the butter in the pan. And that process is slow, but ultimately gets you that nice golden brown, almost sweet caramel, sense caramelized onions flavor.
So do you need a big pan for this, a small pan? Does it matter?
Doesn't really matter. It matters, you want to be able to spread things out in a decent amount of space. The more you can spread them out, the less you have to stir them, and the more evenly they'll cook. But ultimately, we're going to be stirring them as we go so that we get a nice even golden brown around them. About the halfway point, we'll toss the mushrooms in so they add moisture, which will help the caramelization process, along with getting them all nice and sauteed as well.
It looks like it's caramelized and ready to go. What do you think?
It does. It's got nice brown color. You know, the addition of the water helps even it all out. And that'll even progress further as we add the mushrooms, because mushrooms, if you hadn't noticed when you cook with them, are very high in water content. That's why they shrink so much. If you put them in and as you cook them, they always end up much smaller, because you're basically just cooking the water out of the mushrooms. So in this case, it also helps to remove some of the caramelization in the pan, because the caramelization is the flavor. We want equal portions mushrooms and onions. So as they cook down, we keep an eye to make sure that we're somewhere near the equal thing.
See, I could take that right there and just eat it with a fork. That looks and smells so good.
You need magic seasoning.
At what point do you put the magic seasoning in?
Right about now, we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit of it, because again, as we progress further in the sandwich, you can always add more.
So you add the taste to personal preference?
Yeah, and because we're going to end up mixing this with the steak and the gravy and some cheese on top.
This smells amazing. This looks so good. I'm so excited to get to try this. This is a great time to take a short break and learn a little bit more about Northwest Youth Services programs.
Outreach is Northwest Youth Services' primary connection point for youth who are currently unhoused or disconnected from resources. Our outreach services can be found in our schools, libraries, and events throughout the county. They're designed to meet youth where they're at and to build relationships and connections to resources and basic needs that can effectively end their experience of homelessness. Northwest Youth Services' rapid rehousing, transitional, permanent, and temporary housing provide affordable housing opportunities for young adults. While accessing housing through our organization, all young people are supported by a case manager who assists youth in setting and achieving their individualized life goals. A full list of all of our resources can be found at nwys.org.
And we're back at the commissary kitchen. So far we've sauteed the onions and caramelized with the mushrooms. And it looks like we're ready to assemble the sandwich.
Exactly. We're getting ready now to toast the buns, because the rest of it will go pretty quickly once we have all of our mise en place. Everything in its place. Put the bun down there, let the butter melt and spread it throughout the bun. So once we've got our bun down and getting all nice and toasty, we take about 5 ounces of our smoked sirloin. This is one of the things we do in-house, and I know it's not going to be your favorite, but it's rare sirloin. It's ready to go. If you were getting a roast beef sandwich, this would literally be what we would put on it. So we'll spread this out here a bit on the grill. Let it start warming up a bit.
So you don't have to put oil on the grill or anything, you just put
No,
meat on
there's
it.
a little bit of natural fat involved in the
Cooking process.
beef itself, because we don't trim it all off, because fat is flavor. Once we get this out and spread out a bit, we're going to add about 3 to 4 ounces of our mushrooms and onion mix that we did earlier. Lots makes more mess, but it's also more tasty. So we're going to essentially saute this up a little bit together. Make sure your meat picks up the heat.
So how rare, how much do you cook the meat?
By the time we're done, the meat will be done medium well-ish.
So this looks like gravy. Is that? Tell me about that.
That's gravy we make in-house using beef stock and cornstarch, literally. You can tweak the flavor a little bit with some onion powder and everything. If you're doing the vegetarian option, you want to use veggie stock, obviously, instead. But we're getting ready to use that now because we're down to, everything's all cooked together and got a nice temperature going on with it.
Will our viewers at home have the recipe for this?
Absolutely. And literally, if you don't want to take the time to make gravy, any packaged gravy or canned gravy that you might normally use on the spur of the moment will work just as well.
So you just kind of let it sizzle.
We're gonna let it sizzle and cook up a little bit.
together.
We're gonna take one of the slices of Swiss cheese that we use, and we're gonna lay it right down over the top. Then take your little metal bowl.
Oh, does that help melt it faster?
It melts it faster, better. Yeah, it causes the steam from the meat and the gravy come up and help melt the cheese, and the whole thing just comes together much better. We should be able to take a look and see the
Ooh,
nice,
that looks good and brown.
nice golden brown on the roll. So we're going to take another slice of cheese and basically cut it diagonally so you get to the two triangle thing going on, and it will lay in the sandwich just like this. You got cheese on every bite. All right, so now that we've got everything all set and ready to roll, we're getting ready to plate the sandwich. So we're going to remove the bowl. Do remember, as you're doing that, it's been sitting on the grill, so you don't want to, unless you've got kitchen fingers, you don't want to grab it straight up.
Kitchen fingers, does that mean they've already been ruined by
Yeah,
heat?
for the most part. And people that work in the kitchen learn to kind of vibrate their fingers as they're holding hot things, so you get more time.
Got it, okay.
It's hard to explain and harder, but once you know how to do it, it just...
But essentially you don't want to have kitchen fingers because that means you've been burned too many times. Got it.
So then we're going to pile all of this steak pile on the bun. Try to make sure you get the whole thing even all the way across. And close that bad boy up. And there you have it. It's our Big Rock steak pile sandwich. It's definitely a multi-napkin event.
It looks delicious, thank you. We're gonna take a quick break and learn a little bit more about Northwest Youth Services and how you can be involved.
Since 1976, Northwest Youth Services has been the doorway to safety and the pathway to progress for thousands of young lives. Much has changed in our communities during those years. What has not changed is our commitment to supporting the uniqueness of each youth served. We invite you to join us in ensuring that young people from all backgrounds in our community have a place to belong. For more information on ways to support youth experiencing homelessness in our communities, including virtual volunteering and donating, please visit our website at nwys.org or follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back to the kitchen. We have some sandwiches made. I'm really excited about this. We have the completed sandwich over here. It looks amazing. And Rob was kind enough to make me the portobello version because I'm a vegetarian and I cannot wait to try this. But you were telling me that you also make your own ranch dressing.
We make all of our own dressings there. And in thinking it through, we decided that, ranch is colossally easy, but it has that enigma. Everybody loves ranch on their carrots, their salad, their wings. So I thought we'd whip up a quick batch of ranch to go with the salads that we have.
This is great because I feel like this is kind of like a hidden secret.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's not that, when I show you what we're doing, it's like, no, it's gotta be more complicated than that. But at the end of the day, you end up with, ranch that tastes just like that valley you can't find. Avoid the trademark.
Got it, but I'm bummed.
So we're gonna start with 2.5 cups of mayonnaise. And, you can easily make less or more, just, change your proportions appropriately. And the cool part about ranch is you can change it easily to whatever flavor. That's where you get the chipotle ranches, the garlic ranches, the Parmesan ranch.
All the fancy ranches.
All the fancy ones. They're just adding stuff to your ranch. So this is buttermilk. Likely the only part that most households don't have readily on hand. So we're gonna get about a cup and a half of that. And we're basically using it to thin the mayonnaise down to make it dressing consistency. So we're gonna whip this.
Would you use a whisk in this case also? Or
You could use a whisk, you could even use at my restaurant we use a little hand blender thing with the whip on it. It goes fast. For here, it seems easy enough to just, whip it around and stir it. Because you want to get a nice creamy salad dressing texture to it. Once we get to, we're almost there, we're going to add all of the super secret ingredients, which is, strangely enough, almost my magic seasoning. We're going to put about 1.5 teaspoons, so a rounded teaspoon. I like to do things simple, so rather than eyeballing a half, we just go around. Of kosher salt, same measurement of black pepper, same measurement of garlic powder, and then again, 1.5 teaspoons, so 1 rounded teaspoon of onion powder.
That's easy.
It literally is, like I said, it's exactly the kind of stuff that everybody has hanging around their house, yet they feel the need to go out and buy a bottle of ranch, and I was really surprised at how simple it turns out to be. Once we get to, it starts to look pretty much like ranch, we like to then just throw just a little bit of parsley flakes in there. It gives it more of an herb look. It doesn't change the flavor all that much, but it gives you more flex, and there you have it. That's the whole secret to ranch. It's literally spices you probably have in your
I do have those in your kitchen. Yeah.
And then mayonnaise and buttermilk.
Great.
And there we go with a nice fresh bowl of ranch.
Rob, this looks amazing. I am so excited to try this because I've been smelling this and watching you cook this for the past little bit. I can't wait to visit your restaurant in Mount Vernon and come down and see the rest of the stuff that you have on the menu, but I really can't wait to try this. Do you want to try it?
Absolutely.
Yes. See how messy it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's really messy. That's amazing. So good. Those onions have so much flavor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is really good. I can't wait to visit your restaurant. So Rob, let's tell the viewers a little bit about how they can learn more about your restaurant, the hours, how they can find you.
We're open 7 days a week. During the week, Monday through Thursday, we open at 11 and we're open till 8 o'clock. On Friday, we open at 10. Saturday and Sunday, we open at 8, and we do breakfast on those 3 days as well. You can find us easily on Facebook at Big Rock Roadhouse.
So you also do delivery and takeout?
We do delivery and takeout. We do delivery through the local Munchie Dude people.
Okay, great. Rob, thank you so much for coming here today and showing us how to make this amazing food. I'm also really excited to go visit you at your restaurant in Mount Vernon, so thank you for coming today.
Look forward to having you. You're welcome, and thank you, Holly.
Thank you so much. Thank you again to all the sponsors: IMCO Construction, People's Bank, Birch Equipment, Cosmos Bistro, Big Rock Roadhouse, La Fiamma Woodfire Pizza, and Veritas Media. The wine included in your box this evening was graciously donated by Denham Cellars. And special thanks to Rice Insurance, Larson Gross Certified Public Accountants, CPI Plumbing and Heating, Seeking Health, Logan Creek Senior Living, Peace Health, Land Title and Escrow, Windermere Property Management of Oak Harbor, Bellingham Cold Storage, Marla Chappa Keller Williams, the Hanson Home Team Keller Williams, and Skagit Regional Health. If you would like to learn how you can help Northwest Youth Services, you can donate, volunteer, advocate, follow us on social media, go to our website and learn more. I really hope that you had a great evening. The sandwiches are amazing. Thank you again and have a great evening.